When you get off the train on the platform of the health resort called Baile Herculane, you step into a different world. It is as if you entered another time, a real one yet dominated by the symbols of the past. For the history of these places starts in a moment which loses its tracks far behind in the darkness of time. The Sphinx of the Banat region remains the starting point of all the legends related to the exceptional qualities of these places. The so-called Cave of the Outlaws has been studied in great detail by several teams of archaeologists. Yet, as far as the name is concerned, there can be mentioned different variants of some stories related to the ancient outlaws. Nevertheless, the tourist is attracted by these queer places and he builds up his own personal legends using his own imagination. Not far from the Cave of the Outlaws there can be seen, as everywhere in this region, the tracks of the Latin conquerors, the Roman base. The healing spring comes out from somewhere in the depths of the mountain. Here the consuls, the proconsuls and the veterans of the victorious legions from Dacia cured themselves because, in their beliefs, Hercules was holy and also a healer and an invincible. That is why they used to erect monuments to let the whole world know, over the years, this very important detail of their lives. The vows made to the god of these places were strictly respected, and as a sign of worshipness, those who could afford it used to pay sculptures to immortalize forever their Hercule Salutifer, or Hercules the Healer. Ever since that period, until the Roman retreat from Dacia, these antique bays had been used for about 170 years by famous persons like Marius Pompeius, Valerius Maximus or Felix Rufus. Their names can be seen engraved on different rocks as proofs of their worship, devoted on the occasion of the 11th year of Regulus Consulate. The Roman mirrors remind us of the passing of the Roman legions over these places, in this case the 13th Legion Gemina. The Romans colonized the veterans and appropriated land to them in order to strengthen the imperial power. Even then, when these tracks were transformed into exhibition artifacts, the Latin symbols perpetuated into the shiny and beautiful whole of the History Museum from this resort. This building was decorated taking into account the Latin tradition. It is not our intention to follow the events in a chronological order, yet we should not forget the apartment from the pavilion called Trajan, where Franz Joseph, the Emperor of Austria, together with Maria Theresa, lived in 1896. The hall of mirrors is marked by the warmth of the former periods when the ladies, dressed up in laces and veils, were dancing hand in hand with fashionable gentlemen. The parties were lighted by the quivering flames of the candles reflected into wonderful mirrors. Walking along the main streets of the resort, you cannot resist the temptation of making long halts so as to admire quietly the marvels offered by the facade of the houses. The central square is dominated by the impressive statue of Hercules, which also gives the name of the square.